My name's Adam Manaka and I'm the Financial Controller for Hi-Tech Oils. With our national capacity, we can now service Australian companies nationwide. Of late, we have now expanded into the New Zealand market. Here at Hi-Tech Oils, we receive premium base oils and premium additive packs. Together, with our highly trained staff, we manufacture over 500 premium quality products. Hi-Tech Oils is Australian made and Australian owned.
Welcome back trackside here at Winton Motor Raceway for round 3 on the 2017 Shannons Nationals. A couple of Audis leading the field out onto track now. The conditions have certainly improved temperature-wise since the cars went out on track this morning. Matt Koch from GT is right alongside me. Matt, pretty short interval between these 50-minute races today. What's been happening in the pits?
Yeah, quick turnaround. We were just on track. It feels like only 5 minutes ago, but it was a couple of hours. But down there, lots of hard work going on. A coil pack turned out to be the cause of Winton Das's failure to finish early on. He's just leaving the pit lane now, so they've got that one fixed. He's back out there today. Otherwise, just tidying the cars up, checking fuel pressures, putting fuel in the car, tyre pressures, I should say, and getting ready for this second 50-minute race. Race 2 of the weekend to wrap up round 2 of the 2017 CAMS Australian GT Trophy Series presented by Pirelli.
They're set coming out of turn number 10 and the field really does bunch up. Let's see now, the McLaren accelerates away, the safety car's gone. We're now under control of car number 75, Steve McLaughlin, the Valvoline Audi on the front row, shared with his arguably teammate, both out of the same Audi Customer Sport garage. And let's see if that Lamborghini, the Raging Bull on the second row, will have an answer for the speed of these Audis as the green flag is waved. Down to the line they come.
Steve McLaughlin now in charge of the field. Alongside him, Rod Salmon. The blue versus the white. The white Audi jumps away. The number 75 takes the lead cleanly as they plough into the first corner. Side by side, McLaughlin takes the lead. No shenanigans a little bit further back. A long break here or there, but everyone through that, unlike this morning.
Matt Stupas gets in behind the Gartner car, but have a look at Xavier West in the Malibu Boats Porsche. He wants to go with these guys, as does Rob Smith in the number 1. He needs to get points and get them fast. And we just see Manny Menazelma look out to get through there as well in the white Harcourts Porsche. They get all through turns 1, 2, 3 and 4 into the sweep for the first time we go. And have a look at this lead as McLaughlin's wrestling that Audi. The sun's shining on his hands. It's soaring away at the wheel. And we see Stupas go through now on Gartner.
That was a big late move from Stupas there. He saw the opening and didn't need a second invitation. Dived towards the apex and caught Richard Gartner napping. He's not an easy man to pass. Is that yellow Lamborghini. Stupas made that one look easy. A little bit further back, they're now all running single file. Ferrari 430 chasing down Travis Bain on Winton Dassa, latching onto the back of that duo as well. Out front though, it's McLaughlin, 1.8 seconds clear already. He's got Salmon in second. Rick Menser, who was so sensational in race 1, he's up there in third, but Stupas already in P4. In fact, he's starting to latch on to the back of Rick Menser in P3.
Rio Nagara is just playing conservative first lap, letting the field find their feet. He's sitting there in the number 88 Eat furniture car, and he will certainly start to unleash the beast as we get around. He'll want the car to be feeling good and strong underneath him before he launches an attack on this field, but he's not going to have too much time to settle back because Steve McLaughlin is running away with this on one lap, opening lap. He's got a 1.7 second lead over Rod Salmon in the Squirk. Identical Audi number 6. Travis Bain looking to go down the inside of Manny Menazelma now. He's got rid of Goodacre. He's relegated Goodacre back one spot. No, sorry, Goodacre's gone up a couple of spots there. He's in front of this battle. Sorry about that, Johnny. Taking those spots away from him. He's worked hard for them. I want to take them away from him. Down into turn 7 they go. Xavier West through in the Porsche. There's John Goodacre, the Easy Post car. Here's the battle. Manny Menazelma, Travis Bain in the gold and black menacing Audi R8 as they come their way around through turn 9. And the on lap number 2 here, they're settling themselves in. There's Rio Nagara playing a bit of a tail gunner role at this point in time, Matt.
Menazelma working hard in that car. He's got a sequential shifter. He doesn't have the flappy pedal gearbox. He's got a clutch pedal to worry about as well. But out front, McLaughlin beginning to check out. Mensa, though, he's got the full attentions of Matt Stupas. Audi R8 versus Audi R8, two different iterations of that car. Very similar performance. We saw Stupas this morning. He really got the bit between his teeth and charged about 11 seconds down and over the course of 5 or 6 laps. There's plenty of pace as Mensa runs wide heading into turn 1. That'll give Stupas a little bit of a run as they head up towards 3. It's a little bit too far back this time through to make a move, but he's getting ever closer. Every corner, inch by inch, he closes up to the back of the number 22 Audi.
From our perspective at the moment, the only difference is light covers of orange with the KFC racer and the green ones. Sorry, the orange ones on the CCC polished concrete racer and the green ones on the KFC racer. They are both going at it here. Might have the same badge on the front and back of the car, but at the moment they are trying for the same bit of track, and it just happens to be P3 on the road as we see the gap now to Steve McLaughlin, 2.6 seconds to Rod Salmon. Further 1.6 back to Mensa, and we go half a second back to Stupa, and then Gartner has disappeared 2.5 seconds back further. Rio Nagaro still sitting down there in 12th position, so not being able to unleash the beast yet to be able to get back out after this field in the car that secured pole position yesterday.
We'll bring up the tail of the field is Jan Yinadazu, who looks like he's had a spin in the final sector of the last lap. He's dropped back behind Con Whitlock, but yeah, Rio Nagaro taking it nice and easy. Matt Stupiso is not. He's full on attack. He's got the lights blazing, trying to menace the Audi up the road, off the road, so that he can set off after Rod Salmon. Has a look up the inside going into turn 1. How's the brakings this time? Gets the job done nice and clean. Rick Mensa saw him coming, left his car's width on the apex. Nice clean move. Stupas now P3. Mensa down to P4. Gartner P5.
Goes Xavier West there. Here's the replay. This is the overtake for third. Mensa left the door open and wasn't going to argue too much there with the KFC racer of Stupas, and ultimately got through, and he is now out after Rod Salmon. He's got a good car under him. It's working well, so he'll try and chase down the Squirk Audi. It's only just up the road from him. The gap was out to 3 seconds. It's actually down to 2.5 seconds now, so he's got some pace on board Matt Stupas in the KFC car. Here's the battle for the spot in the top 10. Manny Menazelma and Travis Bainan. This is the Porsche with the sequential gearbox, left-hand drive car, as is the Audi behind him, as we've got action down in pit lane.
Well, not so much action, lack of action, which is good for this man driving the McLaren. For Zagami's McLaren is Michael Parker. And Michael, a quiet afternoon so far?
Yes, it's been a good afternoon. It's very quiet, so fabulous for all the competitors, probably not so fabulous for me.
The boys were speaking about gritting up a rolling start. Tell us how hard that is, especially when you've got cars that are just as equal to what you're driving.
Yeah, look, in this particular car, it makes it fairly easy. The car does everything for you. It's a fabulous car to drive. Some of the other cars that we've driven previously don't quite have the power that this thing's got, and it does make it very, very hard.
In regards to leading a field like this, as we said, obviously these cars are as good, if not superior, to what you're actually driving. Do you use a cruise control or something to actually set the limit?
No, just your right foot.
Well done. Mate, we'll let you go just in case you have to get out there. Thanks for your time.
No worries. Thanks, Tony.
Michael Parker at the wheel of the McLaren down there, thanks to Zagami Autosport, and a racer from the 90s and early 2000s himself, and yeah, just giving Tony the lead in there, wasn't it? No, just the right foot, like any other race car, just put the right foot down and drive away with it. This battle raging here, as I said, this is for just a spot inside the top 10, and they're actually battling for position 9, if you like. Manny Menazelma in the Porsche is driving very well, and Travis Bainan at the moment, keeping it on the black stuff. His record does say that at some point he might throw it into the dust at some stage, but he looks to the inside of the Porsche now. The run down to turn number 11. It's competitive. Looks down the inside in the Audi. The number 17 gets the job done there. Runs up between 11 and 12. The Porsche running just wide there, just losing the ground that he had. And the Audi just driving away with it now. And here comes Rio Nagara. He is right up behind now.
That's a good move from Travis Bainan there. Used the power of the Audi out of turn 10, up the inside into turn 11. On the brakes, he almost let the brakes off and rolled into the corner a little bit deeper, realising that he'd perhaps braked a little bit too early. But Menazelma not fighting too hard Really good move from Boehner, nice and clean, and great that he's having those battles now as well, because he's still learning this racecraft, learning how to work with traffic, learning the Winton circuit. He's never been here before, so braking markers, turning points, all that sort of stuff. It's not intuitive yet. He doesn't have the muscle memory, so great experience for him. Meanwhile, Rob Smith in 7th place, battling with Xavier West. The Porsche.
Oh, Travis wants to be careful. He went onto the wet grass there and he's gone straight up at full speed. The rear tyres will have lost a lot of temperature there, so let's hope he drives with just a little bit of caution the first 2 or 3 corners. Jan Dinadas is back in the field and he's flashing flames out of the back of the Lamborghini as well as this battle from one side of Germany to the other. Rob Smith, very, very full head of steam. That was never going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know if he's lost concentration there or a bit of glare off the back of the Porsche perhaps, but he's going there really deep. It was unusual to do as well, because you'd normally be not crawling but going through there comparatively slowly. It's almost like he's lost the brakes or something. He's done well not to collect the back of Xavier West in that. As you can see, once he's run wide, the dirt and the gravel on the tyres, he's probably now going to be stuck in the gravel at the exit of the finals. In fact, you can see there he is bottomed out on there. Yeah, you would expect safety car. Now, this is terrible news for Steve McLaughlin. So safety car is out. He'll pick up race leader Steve McLaughlin. So this is good news for guys a little bit further back, like Jan Unadasa, like Rio Nagara. Bad news, in fact, the worst possible news for Steve McLaughlin. He built up a 4-second advantage. He's going to be stationary for 50 seconds when he hits pit lane. So with the field now bunched, he's not going to have a lot of time to extend that gap. This race is now completely transformed. What we saw pre-safety car, we know who's quick. Are they going to have time now to use that pace before they have to come to the pit stops? And where are they going to emerge? This is the great unknown that we now enter.
We'll be back after this quick break here at the Shannons Nationals. Welcome back trackside here at Winton Motor Raceway for round 3 on the 2017 Shannons Nationals.
Does look like we're about to go racing once more. The safety car is pulled into pit lane. Steve McLaughlin, the race leader, does take charge once again. It looks like he's gone early, in fact, which is not a bad move because he's opened a bit of a gap here over second place Rod Salmon. We do go green flag racing, and Steve McLaughlin's had an absolutely perfect restart here. He's got some 10 or 15 car lengths on Rod Salmon, no pressure behind him. Salmon's got a similar gap back to Matt Stuper, so McLaughlin, he's gone, he's caught them napping a corner before the start-finish line.
Certainly has. That was in the textbook for safety car restarts. That was one we'll have footage of, that's for sure, as the Valvoline car has got himself a healthy 1 second lead as he gets around to turn 4 on the restart of this race under safety car. And it's looking very, very strong indeed. Let's have a look how the field is settling down just before we go into the compulsory pit stop window.
So Steve McLaughlin is our race leader. Rod Salmon currently in second. Matt Stuper's third. Audi 1, 2, 3. There's another Audi in fourth, number 22 of Rick Menser. Richard Gardner's in fifth. Xavier West, the leading Porsche, in sixth. John Goodacre doing really well in seventh in that Mark car. And Rio Nagara, who's climbed a few places since the start. He's currently in eighth, doing a superb job there. Behind him, Manny Mezzasalma and Mark Griffith in the number 19 Ferrari 430. Let's go down to Tony in pit lane.
Thank you, boys. Jake Fouracre sharing with Rio Nagara. Mate, disappointing first race for you. The fastest lap, of course, of Winton yesterday in qualifying. How's it going, race 2?
Yeah, race 2's going pretty well. He's off to a little bit of a slow start. But now, just looking at the times, he's really starting to pick it up now, which is great. He's getting some good confidence back in the car, and we're up to P8 now. So looking forward to jumping in a couple of minutes to try and capitalise on that and move forward.
Thanks very much, Tony, for keeping us in touch with the stories unfolding down there in pit lane. Rio Nagara really just ticking the boxes at the moment. He's up to P7. There's a bit of a coming together in the straight in the background of that shot. Not too sure there was with maybe John Goodacre. It's had a coming together. The Porsche and the Mark car, so it was just in the back of the screen. Not too sure what the details was, but certainly smoke went up as the two cars came side by side. Here they are on screen now, the Easy Pos Mark car and Manny Menazalma in the Harcourt's Real Estate Porsche as they go through the sweeper, but no further aggression being displayed between those two. Travis Bainon is menacing in the background of these two. The black Audi.
Well picked up there, Daz. You were absolutely right. It was Rio Nagara who basically forced John Goodacre off the road there. He went past the marked car and didn't realise just how close they were. Moved over to take the racing line. It's basically just forced Goodacre off the road there. So
that's scary
yeah,
stuff.
well done by Goodacre to keep the car straight. Straight into pit lane. He does head though. The compulsory window is open, so he'll serve that pit stop now. Get that one out of the way nice and early.
He may even have a deflator after that. Pierce the tyre or something like that, and he brings it in. So wise to do so after it coming together like that. That was bizarre, to say the very least. Here's our race leader. It is still Steve McLaughlin. It's a healthy 4-second lead for the number 75 over the squirt racer of Rod Salmon.
What these guys need to do is run deep into this pit window, maximise their time on track and try and open the gaps as much as they can, because it's easy to run in clean air and run fast, consistent times. Far easier than it is to try and run in traffic.
So Rio Nagara in, Matty Metazelma in now, so we'll see Jake getting on board.
Let's go down to Tony in pit lane.
35 seconds is the time they're looking for, boys. I think they've done it in around about 40. So we can see Jake Fouracre now being strapped in, Rio Nagara helping as well. Unfortunately for Rio, though, he actually overshot their pit stop, so he was going to drive past. Actually, he'd had to come in on an angle, a 45-degree angle. They're just resetting now. We can see Jake just about strapped in, one strap to go. I think he's going to now lengthen that strap, so this time is blowing out for the Audi, the number 88 Audi. Looks like he's right in there now. So Rio Nagara just walking back into the garage, is not happy with himself and the fact that he actually overshot the pit lane stop. Engineers out, car restarted, and they will get this 88 Audi back out on track. Jake Fouracre in there, and now hands go up in the air. He's got nothing. Moving the steering wheel, trying to find a gear. He's got nothing. Car's stalled. He's stuck here in pit lane. Restart again. Let's see if we can go this time. He does. Revs up. Still nothing. He's shaking the head. There's no gear. Found it this time. There it is. And the 88 car heads off. But that was a disastrous stop, to say the least.
Certainly was, Tony, and we just looked to see where that put them. Was a 1 minute 50 seconds in. In fact, he hasn't even left the lane yet, so we're 1 minute, let's get right down, 1 minute 54.75. They were supposed to be in there for 35 seconds.
Only about 90 seconds left in the pit window. Closes with 20 minutes to go, so Con Whitlock in. Race leader Steve McLaughlin also in, as we expected, at the very end of the window. But if they've left it another lap and the safety car had come out, it could have meant they missed the pit window. If you miss the pit window, that's it. Game over. You're disqualified. It's that simple.
Put it in the truck, go home. Yep. So good to see the leaders in now. They've pushed the envelope right to the end of that opportunity here. We've got safety car out on track now. It's the car number 1. Rob Smith is parked up behind the tyre barriers around the track.
Yeah, down at turn 2. Didn't see how he's gone in there, but there's damage to the left-hand side of that car. So I want to suggest he's got it wrong at 1, and that speared him off the road to the exit of turn 2. So watch top of frame, the blue and white Audi. There. Oh, that's just not turned right.
Well, we've seen him do that down at turn 11, exiting 12 as well. Didn't want to turn right up there as well. And he's washed off as much speed as he could, so it was sort of a controlled hit.
We are about to go racing once again, though. The safety car pulls clear of the field. Matt Stupas now takes control. Behind him, paying vigilant attention, is Steve McLaughlin. He's not letting the 23 KFC Audi get the jump like he did last time through. He's all over the gearbox of the Audi ahead of him. In fact, Rod Salmon is almost a freight train of Audis at the very front. Super slow, heading back towards the green flag here. Really controlling the field. Now he'll go. Gets a little bit of a jump, but he's not got a lot of space over McLaughlin. He might even have to go defensive down into turn 1. Stupas gets a bit of a jump that time through, but he's gone deep into 1. McLaughlin now will be all over him coming out of turn 2. Salmon's also run wide. Mensah has a little bit of a look. Stupas having to go defensive down into 3. McLaughlin has a look, finds his way, balked. So too, Salmon going defensive. Battles at 1 and 2. Third is starting to heat up as well.
And Stupas now employed the same thing, and McLaughlin was ready for him this time. Rod Salmon just caught napping a little bit there, because he's now got Rick Mensah all over the back of him in the CCC polished concrete car. McLaughlin looks for a way, but he's covered off by the KFC racer, Matt Stupas, in the Audi as they go through the cleavage now out of turn 8 and come up to 9. They bobble around on their wheelbase a little bit through there, the Audis. Not so good. The Porsche seems to get through there a lot nicer, as does the Lambo, but they've got track position. And with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in this journey, track position is absolutely everything.
Stupas starting to go super defensive against McLaughlin. He's got to be careful going through the 7, 8, 9 complex. If you get the line through there, you can be wrong-footed down into turn 10 and find the door left wide open. He's gone deep into turn 11 though. That's allowed McLaughlin to close back up. He gathers it up in time for turn 12 and he will lead down across the stripe. Again, going just a little bit defensive towards turn 1, takes the racing line. Stupas from McLaughlin. Salmon has broken clear of Rick Menser and he's quickly joining the party out front. Audi, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bainan hanging on in 5th, doing well back there is Travis Bainan in the black Audi. Meanwhile, Stupas still having to go defensive. McLaughlin's got overlap looking into turn 4, has to pull the nose back in.
This is a ripper race. The number 75 has got the pace out of these two. Salmon ranges up rapidly onto the back of the Valvoline J McPem car. It is KFC, it's Valvoline and it's Squirk. They're all in Audis and they're going to be going for it with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left. Arguably 3 laps remaining here, but Matt Stupas will be feeling the glow. The blowtorches being applied to the back of his car.
Stupas continues to lead. The margin is non-existent over McLaughlin. Another good run out of turn 9. Stupas, is he needing to go defensive into 10? Not this time. He's got just enough, but he's locked the rears. Car gets a little bit sideways. He's going to hold it right now and force McLaughlin to go the long way around, you would think. He sits mid-track as they go down into turn 11. Brake hard. McLaughlin hangs it wide. Is he going to go the over-under? That's exactly what he's trying to do. Can't get alongside this time round. Stupas lives to fight another day. McLaughlin then getting a little bit squirrely. He's now having to defend against Salmon. 3-way battle for the lead, 2.5 minutes to go.
Gee, look at that leaderboard. Audi R8 LMS 1, 2, 3 and an Audi R8 LMS 2011. So 3 Ultras and an 11 MY11 car there as well. So no matter what, Steve McLaughlin has to make a move and he has to make one of them stick very, very soon because Rod Salmon has got a great car underneath him at the moment. It's really coming on strong towards the end of the race. These 3 out in front, they're not setting rapid lap times by any stretch of the imagination, but they're lap time enough to get away from the competitors following. Salmon,
Salmon's off.
Loss of concentration in the number 6. He's still trying to drive it Speedway style, buries it in the sand trap. He'll take no further part in the result of this race.
So it's a 2-way battle at the lead then. Stupas versus McLaughlin. Salmon distracted by the battle ahead. Lost concentration for just a nanosecond. He's now beached. Meanwhile, McLaughlin still attacking the back of the KFC Audi. A poor run through turn 2 really set McLaughlin up to have a shot at Stupas last time through, but couldn't get the job done. Again, Stupas goes defensive, defending fresh air. He's gone deep, he's gone too deep, he's gone off the circuit. Has opened the door wide as you like for McLaughlin. He'll take that, it's like taking candy from a baby. Stupas rejoins. McLaughlin is going to walk away with victory here if he can keep it on the black stuff. 10 seconds left in this race. This will be the final lap.
Matt Koch would take chocolates from a baby. That's a bad analogy. You don't want to make the baby cry. Around out of turn 2 they come. It's Steve McLaughlin. He led the early stanza of the race. As a result of pit stops, he was relegated to P2. He's back out in front now. He has no Stupas and he has no Squirk racer of Rod Salmon, who is still up in the sand trap with yellow flags being waved. So anyone trying to set themselves up for a manoeuvre into turn 7 will be negated by yellow flags being waved up there. It's certainly not going to worry race leader Steve McLaughlin at this point in time, but Rick Menser, this is a watershed moment for Rick Menser. Travis Bainan in there as well. He'll be on a podium here today in the black car, so his crew will be very happy, led by Belinda Gavin down there this weekend. Richard Gardner will get into the well and truly in the 5. Manny Menazelma will be in there as well with the Porsche. John Goodacre, who has had a fraught weekend, will bring home a 6th place, I think. But at this point in time, let's watch our leader in the number 75 work his way around the bottom end of the course. There's the KFC car. He's managed to hold on to that position on the road. Number 75 now points up to the checkered flag, the J McPem Valvoline racer, comes charging down the straight. Audi Customer Sport Australia. Crew from MPC very, very happy indeed down at pit lane to get that result for Steve McLaughlin. Matt Stupas actually brings it home in second place. Rick Mensah third. That's a great result. Travis Bain on as well. Wow, when you mix it up with a safety car with only 6 minutes left to go and you revert to dancing on the pedals, doing it with your hands and feet, the results really do get a good shake-up. There it is, Steve McLaughlin, Matt Stupas, Rick Mensah, Travis Bain on inside the 5, Richard Gartner in the Lamborghini, Manny Menazelma in the 997 Cup Car Porsche, John Goodacre brings home the Mark car in 7, Xavier West in the Porsche there into 8th, Jan Ginadasa eventually getting home in the Lambo in 9th, and Mark Griffith bringing the F430.
It was going to be difficult in the second race because of obviously the increased CPS, but yeah, no, we managed to get through a few safety cars that obviously helped all the Audis sort of bunched together, and there was a little bit of a duel there towards the end, so it was good. Yeah, I've been driving this for a couple of years now. I've obviously got the new car as well, but I think this circuit suits the old car, and yeah, we really enjoy driving it. Obviously, we call it Old Man's Cup because most of us are, done a little bit of racing, but it's not quite at obviously the GT Championship level, but it's very enjoyable, and it's a pretty well relaxed weekend, so yeah, it's great fun.